Prologue. She hadn't spoken in 23 hours. The room was dim, sterile, too clean for what it held. 4 walls, 1 light. He looked at her the way her papa looked at her. She knew he was going to cause her pain before he began. The girl sat motionless, legs drawn up on the therapy couch. Her hands stayed buried in the sleeves of her grey sweater, the neckline stretched from too many nights pulling it over her head, like armor. She didn't remember why she was here. Not really. She only remembered the cold, the fire, and the voice that started humming in her mind like a lullaby from the dark. Dr. Kovar, kind, deliberate, too curious, sat across from her, not writing and not speaking, just watching. Finally, he said, "You know why you're here, don't you?" She flinched, just slightly. "You're not broken," he continued, leaning in. He continued, leaning in. "You're just fractured. I can help you." She looked up slowly, her pupils swallowing her irises. "You can trust me," he said. The girl didn't blink. Trust died on an operating table when no one noticed she stopped breathing. Still, she said nothing. "Let's try something. Close your eyes, breathe. Go but K to the first moment it happened. The blankness, the slipping away. I want to meet the part of you that survived." Her throat tightened, her heart thudded. She closed her eyes, and everything fell silent. The couch disappeared. The air turned thick. Her pulse slowed, and the world narrowed to a low, steady hum. Not from the room, from deep inside her chest, from behind the door she'd sealed shut years ago. Knock, knock. A whisper curled inside her thoughts, a voice she didn't recognize but had always known. "Let me out now, I know how to make them stop." Number. "You promised. You made me. You called for help, remember?" She tried to shake her head, but her limbs were heavy, distant. "You curled up in the bathtub and whispered, 'Please, someone else take over.' And I did." The light flickered above her, in the distance that the real world was spinning away. "It's my turn now." Her lips parted, not by her will, and a smile, cruel and elegant, bloomed like a shadow over her face. She opened her eyes. Dr. Kovar's body was slumped against the wall. Blood smeared down the mirror. His hand, outstretched, of fingers clawed like he'd been, reaching for something. Help, maybe. The light above buzzed erratically, swinging slightly. Her reflection blinked. It wasn't her. It was someone older, stronger, colder, wearing the same face but with none of the fear. "That's better," the reflection whispered. "Now we begin." Footsteps padded softly toward the door, her own. But she didn't feel them. Chapter 1. 7:02 a.m., Monday. The soft ring of her sunrise alarm clock stirred Bianca Forstmann awake. No nightmares, no dreams. Just that comforting kind of quiet that wraps around you like warm sheets. The air in her bedroom was scented with lavender and citrus, a combination she used intentionally every night before sleep. Light filtered through semi-sheer white curtains, brushing golden across her cheeks, and the soft cream walls lined with second-hand books, delicate pressed flowers in frames, and a chipped teacup her mother once loved. She sat up slowly, blinking the sleep from her eyes, yawning delicately. Her slender fingers brushed against her duvet before she reached for her clock. "Oh no," she muttered, a soft laugh following. She moved like water, graceful, practiced. Her morning ritual began with a hot shower, then the rosewater lotion she dabbed along her collarbone, a grey knit cardigan over a floral blouse, a soft nude gloss across her lips. She stood in front of the mirror, her hands gently smoothing her braid. "You're okay. You're good. You're kind. You matter." The words came out in a whisper, but they filled the space like a hymn. Her apartment was small but beautiful. Vintage pieces blended with warm-toned textiles. Polaroids were strung on twine by tiny wooden pegs, and a small ceramic angel watched from her bookshelf. Her place felt like her, safe, quiet, and kind. From the counter, she picked up a carefully packed bag of freshly baked banana muffins, made the night before with cinnamon and a touch of nutmeg. She could already picture Miss Milligan's delighted face. Her fingers grazed the muffin bag as though bestowing blessings. 8:01 a.m., bus to downtown. The bus was packed. Commuters stared into their phones, some sleeping with their mouths open, others arguing over headlines. Bianca sat by the window with a paperback thriller in her lap. The story was gruesome, its villain cruel and unrepentant. She winced at the violence but kept reading. A flicker of discomfort danced at the back of her mind, but she shrugged it off. The city moved outside, a blur of lives in motion. A boy chased pigeons by a street vendor. A man in a suit wept silently behind sunglasses. A woman laughed with earbuds in. Bianca watched, absorbing it all quietly. 8:46 a.m., Riddle, Pierce and Associates law firm. The revolving doors swept her into polished marble floors and floor-to-ceiling glass walls. Everything smelled faintly of paper, cologne and ambition. She greeted the receptionist with a warm smile. "Morning, Bea. You bring muffins again?" "You're too good for us." Bianca laughed, a sound like wind chimes. She dropped a muffin and a fresh cup of black coffee on her boss's desk. He was already buried in papers. "Have a great day, sir. These are the files you asked for, the Reynolds case. I'd advise against taking either side." Benson Pierce looked up, amused. "If there's a will, there's a way." "No one is more capable than you, sir," she replied smoothly. "I'm sure you'll find it." Out in the hallway, she glided like a breeze. Everyone she passed felt it. She remembered birthdays. She knew the names of interns. She brought calming teas to paralegals on rough days. They called her Office Sunshine, and she wore the title like perfume. Her desk was covered in pastel sticky notes, quotes in beautiful calligraphy, and a paperweight shaped like a lily. Clients came and went. Some were hopeful, others were broken. "Would you like tea while you wait?" "Oh, what a lovely pendant. Your daughter gave you that? How sweet. Don't worry, we'll take care of everything." She never asked questions about who was guilty or why justice was delayed. That wasn't her role. She simply recorded the names, organized the files, and sent them upstairs. Every now and then, she'd glance at the case folders and feel something twist in her stomach. A name, a crime, a face, something awful. But the feeling never stayed long. It slipped away like a dream the moment she blinked. She loved her job, and it didn't matter as far as she kept working. By 5:02 p.m., she was packing up, smiling politely as she passed the evening staff. The city buzzed outside, golden and busy. She walked home. No parties, no lovers. Just her notebook of poems, a warm cup of peppermint tea, and her evening routine. Peace was everything. As she got home, her phone was pinging non-stop. More evidence has turned to light. "We support the young lady," her boss instructed her. "Whatever he says goes." The next morning at the conference room, they sat with the two clients, Mr. Reynolds and his financial secretary. Mr. Reynolds had allegedly been accused of reducing the quality of treatment of sick children under the care of the foundation he was in charge of. The Ricks Foundation for Sick Kids was founded by the late Dame Selina Rickson. Mr. Reynolds was put in charge of the project because of what seemed like his loyal service to her, or so he was thought to be. The Financial has another story, though. According to Patty, the secretary, he implicated and blackmailed her by sending some of the money to the offshore and making sure some of the money went into her account. She didn't use the money, but she also couldn't lose her job. What she couldn't take was that one of the sick kids, one of the best, died cause of no finances enough to support his final treatment, whereas the money always sent to his account was more than enough. "I couldn't sleep knowing I was aiding a murderer. I always turned my eyes away from the dying kids, but I couldn't ignore Dylan." Her eyes full of tears. Benson, her boss, and one of the best lawyers looked at Mr. Reynolds. "Do you deny these claims?" Mr. Reynolds smirked. "I see you've made your choice. Next time you see me, it'll be with my lawyer." With that, he left. Miss Patty gave all the files in her possessions and every information we needed. Once she left, Benson Pierce smiled, turning to bed. "It's not going to be easy. Let's give it our best." She nodded and headed to call their PI, at the same moment submitting a subpoena to access the Foundation's financial documents. The whole day was spent on finding a way to pin the murder on him in order to win the favor of the judge. The next day, Mr. Reynolds had gotten one of the best lawyers in the city fighting for him. They came to the law firm and waited at the conference room. No matter how you do this, Patty has 2 kids and no father. She couldn't possibly want to go to jail for being an accomplice to a murderer, because no matter what she said, she was quiet for 2 good years. The lawyer said like a warrior who had won a lot of battles that his reputation preceded him. Benson said to them, "You don't know she will be convicted. And you are also not sure she won't. I know you do not want to, but you are under duress to inform her of what I said today. We could settle, and this will not see the light of day. Also, my client will sign a document stopping him from doing such again. Win-win." "I'll let her know," Benson said, defeated. As soon as B muttered. "He's a coward, afraid to face the law." "Welcome to the real world, B." Benson grimaced like he hated what he said. Patty came to the law firm that evening, and with the grim faces she knew she had failed. "Just bear it to me. Tell me how it is." Benson heaved a sigh. "They claim they can get you locked up with him since you kept quiet for 2 years. "And can they?" Her eyes filled with tears. "There's a 50% chance that it goes that way." Benson Pierce sighed. "My kids," Patty said in a whisper. "We know. Sadly, he knows that too. He wants to settle." "You mean he wants to escape the law? He's so evil." Her hands tightened up in a fist. "We need to settle. We have a written statement drawn up to implicate him if he does such again." She gave a bitter laugh. "A piece of paper can't stop him." "He doesn't care about kids. Why would he care about that? He'll just find another way to do it. Who knows? Maybe something that even looks legal. I feel so helpless." Benson consoled her. "Everything will be all right." "You don't know that," she snapped. "Thank you both for trying your best," she said with a hopeless smile on her face. 1 week later. It was such a stressful day," Bianca sighed. Taking a shower, she slept off, waking up to a series of calls ringing over and over. "Hello," she said groggily. Benson boomed on the phone. "Check your message box." She checked, watching a link, and her face turned white. Mr. Reynolds Richardson, the head of the Ricks Foundation, was left for dead in his study, brutally murdered. She called Benson back immediately. "Do you think it's Patty? How could she have pulled that off?" "She didn't seem like Patty," Benson said calmly. "No, it wasn't Patty. She left 2 days after getting the settlement, afraid they might come for her. According to her, she said it's for a new beginning. We need to find out what happened. We might be questioned." Bianca immediately called their PE. "Freddie, we need your help." Freddie smiled at the call. "Tell Benson I'll be at the usual place at noon." At noon, Bianca and Benson walked into a bar. It was owned by Freddie and we to the back. Freddie welcomed us with a hug and spread the pictures on the table, and Benson looked at it grimly. "This isn't Patty. This person enjoyed this." Mr. Reynolds was hung upside down with his guts in display. Naked, he wore huge baby diapers with a pacifier sewn to his mouth. On the floor were some words written with a lipstick. It was written alongside a voice note confession from Mr. Reynolds of his crimes. "Yours truly, Saint Killer."
Don't forget to like and subscribe for more of Nisha Noir. Nisha Noir signing out.